Welcome to another solo queue map strategy video, guys. This week we'll be going over Theme Park, which has somewhat recently been reworked back in Operation Shifting Tides. I want to let you guys know who are new to this channel that I upload weekly Rainbow Six Siege videos, so feel free to subscribe for more content. And lastly, there's going to be a playlist during the end screen that will link you guys to all of these solo queue map strategy videos I've made. And with that being said, let's move on. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to this video. And before anything gets started, I also want to let you guys know that I have literally done so much research specifically for Theme Park to try and make like one of the better strategies for a solo queuer. I just hope you guys appreciate that. I've literally watched like Pro League, I've analyzed some of the things that they did, and I've tried to break it down to where the most powerful thing that I've seen these Pro League teams do is confined into something that only one person can do. And we're over here. We're gonna start off. So if you haven't seen these videos before, I go from what I think is the best site down to what I think is the worst site, and we go over a strategy for it that one can do by themselves for the most part, at the very least. So right here we're playing Mute, and you can play Shoddy and the SMG-11 and make sure to have Nitro Cell as well. You can use the MP5K if you guys want to. Of course, we're on the most popular site, or arguably the most popular site of Theme Park, which is Throne Room. And so, first of all, you want to make sure to have pretty much every soft wall reinforced over here on Throne here. So we're just going to start off by doing that. This one's over into maintenance. And then I'm not sure exactly what the west side is called. I just call it Blue Barrels though. And yeah, so make sure that all these walls are reinforced. You can get, I'd say maintenance is the most important wall, but of course all of them are really important. And then from there, you can place mute jammers by each of these important walls. And so make sure to place it right in the middle so that you can actually jam both of the reinforcements. And so I'm just going to put it down just so that you guys know where to put them down at. But basically just know that's by all these main reinforcements. And for those of you who know Mute, you do have four jammers, I should say. So you have another jammer to place extra. I like placing the other jammer by Dragon. And so the main thing that you're going to do here as Mute is you're going to play behind Throne. Which is probably the strongest part to play in, Throne Room, is behind Throne here. You can even hold angles like this while prone. And then one thing that I do want to mention, I don't know how to speak English, guys. One thing I do want to mention is, say, the enemy team gets one of these reinforcements open, it's most likely going to be maintenance on the right side for us. So say you have a Thermite and you hear the Thermite or Hibana or whoever opening up this side. What you're going to do, say they're on this east side, I'm going to rotate west. And so I'm going to play behind here now. And then same thing for if they came from Blue Barrels. So they're coming from west, I'm going to rotate east. They get it open, now I can play behind this side. And yeah, that's the main things for this defense. Some other things to keep in mind is if you really wanted to, you could open up these parts for your teammates. Because another thing that you could do is play over by these little tables over here, and having some open areas might be helpful for your teammates. But yeah, so main things to take away: make sure all these walls are reinforced. Make sure to ask your teammates if they aren't doing it, and then you're gonna want to play behind Throne. And then say they get a wall open, say it's from the east side, you're gonna rotate west of Throne. If they push in from west side, then you're gonna rotate to the east of Throne to watch it. That's pretty much it, and let's move on to the next bomb sites. So the next site that I think you guys should be playing is definitely Initiation or Office, and we're going to be playing Smoke over here. We're going to have a shotgun. Feel free to do whatever attachments you guys like, by the way. SMG and deploy shield. Make sure to have deploy shield. That's a very big part for this strategy that we have on Initiation and Office. So let's just load in here, and then I'll tell you guys what to do. Alright, so first off, we're going to want to reinforce the left side into Control Room. And then, if you want to, this is just a nice little thing that I like to mess around with. So you can ping the hatch, and you can come down here and actually melee out a hole. And you can watch the hatch if you really want to. Not many people see it, but be careful because some people do. Next, you're going to want to have this whole wall reinforced. But you can contribute at least one wall, and then, you know, hopefully have one of your teammates reinforce that. I would think they would, especially if you're playing ranked. But yeah, nonetheless. And this wall doesn't have to be unenforced. You know, it can be reinforced if it wants to. If your team wants to. I'd only say don't have it reinforced if you're trying to, you know, watch this hatch like this. Although, let me just say, it is a risky move. From here, we're going to shotgun open something. So we're going to shotgun open the left side of this wall. We're going to shotgun open the top of this wall into office. Just finish that off. Then from here, the deploy shield, you're going to want to have it at the corner of these red mats. Let's just get it around here. And then we'll talk about where we play and some other things to think about. So the main thing that I've noticed, I think pushing from control room as an attacker is very powerful. So they're going to probably drop down from the hatch. They can come. I never see people really coming in from this window, but they might. And they're probably going to come in from top dragon stairs. So what we're going to do is we're going to play behind this part in initiation room. So mainly play behind here. You have access if this wall is soft to, you know, just fire it out if you hear that people are in there, if you really wanted to. And then you're mainly going to swing it. I pronounced that kind of weird. You're going to mainly swing it. I recommend staying crouched, and I'll go over why right now actually. So the whole reason why we open this up is to do some smokes, so I'll show you guys in a second. But because we open it up, it also leaves a far angle for attackers to check if they're coming down this hallway. You know, maybe they know someone's playing behind there because they pushed in from control room, rotate around to over here. If they push through here, and since we have this area open, they could have had a line of sight on us. But because we put that deploy shield there, they no longer have that there. And yeah, but moving on. So for the most part, I'd say plants can go off around here, right by the B-bomb, or there's a couple places in here. I'd say on ping. I'd say the best place to plant over here is by this little bar, and then, you know, maybe if they're rushing it, they might go around here. And so knowing that, since we're playing smoke, I made these holes open so that you can throw your smokes over there. So say they're planting behind bar, which is where I think most people would. You'd line your dot up with the top of the roof where the wall and the roof kind of would have met, and then you just throw it in that general direction. And then I'll show you guys where it smokes off right now. It literally gets right into bar. And so besides that, say you aren't trying to throw it into the bar. Say, first of all, you have this angle over here if you wanted. If you don't want to take the angle, you can push out into here and then throw your smoke. And then, you know, it'll be right around there. If not, I also made it so that you can just throw it right along here, and this will get into the back little, I think these is like a locker room area. So let me show you guys there. It pretty much gets off this whole section. If they're planting right here, they'll also get it. But say they're pushing in from this bridge part, it also helps stop that. That's it for this part, and let's move on to the next one. Alright guys, so the next safest choice I'd say if you're solo queuing is definitely going to be Bunk and Daycare. And I recommend playing someone either Doc or Rook. I found Rook to be most helpful, and he'll be most helpful for the strategy that I'm going to talk to you guys about right now. So I recommend MP5 or P90, and then either of the secondaries, whichever one you're better with. I personally am better with the P9, and then definitely impact nades. And we'll load in here, and then we'll go over it real quickly.
Protect the bombs.
Alright, so first of all, make sure to put down your Rook armor, because if you're playing Rook and you don't put your Rook armor down, you're a bad teammate. And moving on from that, I like to open up a rotate hole right here into break room. And then secondly, I like opening up a rotate in between both Daycare and Bunk. And so if you guys need reinforcements, first of all, I recommend reinforcing here because we're going to be playing in Bunk for this strategy I'm going to be showing you guys. But if not, make sure to reinforce the north walls over in Daycare. Now besides that, let me talk to you guys about what you guys should be looking for. So first of all, the reinforcements that I'm talking about on Daycare is over here. But for the most part, I like playing up on this table here. I like watching this east doorway, as well as you can also get an angle to see the enemy's shoulders and above on these west stairs. And that's pretty much where you're going to be playing the majority of the time. Now, something else you can think about is you can either have ask teammates to open up holes over here so you can see into it, Or if you want to keep it blocked off but still have that rotate hole on the west, I recommend barricading it up and hitting out one time. And then, besides playing up on this table and checking the east door, you know, these reinforcements if anyone's getting it open, and then the west stairs, is I recommend you guys peek out into this hallway. So first of all, people really like pushing in from these windows, or people can push in from, I believe it's called cafe. So check that real quick. But then right after that, if it's clear, maybe make a quick little rotate to break room rotation and just see if anyone's in there. Honestly, if you hear people in there, which most likely if you're playing at that table, you will hear them, you can honestly come by and just pre-fire it. And besides that, it's a very anchor heavy strategy. Not many things to worry about. I guess the only other thing I could think of that you could worry about is maybe worry about this hatch. You know, say they might have droned you out and they're smart enough to open up this hatch and try and get an angle on you. Just be wary of that. And besides that, some other things to keep in mind is that a default plant could probably be here, and anywhere around B-bomb, probably behind here if any. Besides that, yeah, just keep your eye out and do your job. Alright guys, so lastly we're going to labs and storage. For this one we're going to be playing mute. This one you definitely want to be running your shotgun, SMG-11, and then for sure nitro as well. And we're going to load in here and then I'll show you guys what to do. Real quick, I just want to say that labs is pretty good if you have a 5-stack, but you know, just be careful. Of course, this is a solo queue video, so we're going to be talking about strategies for solo queue, and that's why I'd say that labs is probably not the best for solo queuing. But anyways, as you can see, we're making some holes. So mainly this one is for nitro, so you want to make sure that everything about it is cleared out. And so we'll just do that here because that's mainly for throwing over nitros. This one over here is if you want to play on this tabletop, but this is to watch this west window. I wouldn't say always peek it though. And then also, if you are going to play this site, the reinforcements that I would recommend is definitely over here on the northeast side of the actual labs. And then depending on where you're going to play, so there's two places I'd recommend playing. So either by this chem table or behind these yellow barrels or yellow whatever you want to call them. If you decide to play on this table, I'd recommend reinforcing the south wall over here. But I personally like playing behind these yellow barrels, and so I like reinforcing the southeast wall just in case none of your teammates get it. Of course, talk to your teammates and get things figured out. But now let's talk about the mute jammers. So for this one, I like to place a mute jammer a little bit behind the middle. Then I also like to barricade this doorway. Besides that, something else I like to do is, since I usually end up playing behind these yellow barrels, is I'll put my jammer over by this drone hole. And then besides that, I might also have a jammer over here to stop off anything from storage. And then the next jammer is really up to personal preference. You can either have one over here if you're playing yellow barrels, so that, you know, people can't call you or line can't, you know, ring you up. If not, if you're playing over here, then you're going to want to place it by the drone hole or wherever you're playing. Since, like I said, I like playing by yellow barrels, I'm actually going to have it closer to this right side, because for the most part, this jammer can cover over here, and this jammer will cover over here if I'm playing more on this north side. Now, next thing, so like I said, if you're playing tabletops over here, you're going to want to peek this every once in a while. If they end up opening up this area, I'd say play behind this little cabinet thing. And then moving on, we're going to go over to the yellow barrel part. Make sure to get your nitros down over here, because if people are coming in through the window over here, you can see where it's at and just detonate it real quick. If not, you can also, you know, just fire through the wall. You have a shotgun too, so don't be afraid to literally shotgun open if you know people are going to come through the wall. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to some attacker things I like talking about. And yeah. Alright guys, so there's two main things. I held up 4. There's two main things that I want to talk about while attacking that I've noticed in Pro League, and just things that I find useful myself. So for the most part, I either spawn at teacups or bumpers. I'd say bumpers is a little bit more risky of a spawn because of spawn peaks and spawn rushes, but I think it's most beneficial to the things that you're going to do. So I'm going to play Captal right now, but I think the best attackers for Theme Park is Captal or Bunk. And of course, if you need to play in support player, you know, you want to get that Thermite, Hibana, Maverick, or Thatcher. I'm personally going to be playing Capital right now, just to show you guys a little bit more specifically what I want to talk about, these two main things. So like we mentioned, Throne is probably the best bomb site, and so most likely when you're attacking, you're going to be going up against Throne a lot. So I'd say the easiest place to push is maintenance. I think it's the most reliable. And so first of all, you want to have your drone set up in maintenance during the prep phase, or the other option is I like having my drone up in control room if I'm pushing overall. So if I'm attacking any bomb site, I usually push from this control hatch. And I like having my drone in this control room. To be safe, I usually keep it around here. But if you're pushing for throne room and you're pushing in maintenance, keep your drone down in maintenance. So I'm using Capital. Capital is mainly good for going against throne. So when you're attacking throne. We don't have any attackers over here. Or sorry, we don't have any defenders. But just be aware of people playing control room vertically. You're going to have to get through this, so you want to get your Thermite and Thatcher or whoever else to get that. Speaking of throne, look at it. So let's talk about once you open up this wall. So say this maintenance wall is open. As Capital, you're going to first off bring out your smokes, and you're going to want to smoke. So of course I'd be playing a little bit more towards maintenance because I don't want to get shot. But you're going to want to smoke off that doorway. And then from there, you're going to push up to throne, and then you're going to smoke, or you're going to flame off blue hallway. And so I'm going to get into why. But once you do those two things, you as Capital should probably watch maintenance and dragon. But whoever has the diffuser should be planting diffuser right behind throne. Now let me explain exactly why you want to do this as Capital when you are attacking throne. So first of all, I'm going to act like I am a defender. As a defender, we went over, we'd either play back of throne, or we'd probably play over here in Armory. So I'm going to guess that since we got that wall open, you're also going to be able to kill the person behind throne. And so therefore, the only other person with a decent angle on site would be this person over here. So as a smoke off person, you're literally smoking off their whole entire line of sights, and knowing how we did our strategy, they're most likely going to have a nitro cell player. And if this person over here has the nitro cell and you flame this part off, there's no way that they're going to be able to throw their nitro safely to behind throne. Look how much damage that would have taken them. They would have died, or they wouldn't even attempt it, because they're trying to value their lives, so that hopefully they can shoot you guys off and then eventually kill all of you guys and get the diffuser out. Yeah, so that's pretty much going over attack, and then for throne, and then for everything else I'd say run Bunk. Again, if you guys need a Thermite or a Thatcher, play Thermite or Thatcher. But what I recommend doing is I always push from control room. I genuinely don't push from any other place unless I'm playing Montaigne. But like I said, I don't really recommend them all the time. But yeah, so push in from control room hatch. I'd say rotate around here, make sure to check here. Set up your drone to where it is watching the dragon's top floor hallway. So top dragon stairs. And you're pretty much going to push in from here. Forever you're going to make, you know, I said about initiation and stuff. And you kind of can hopefully get a gist of how to attack it based on how I taught you guys how to defend it. And same thing for Bunk and Daycare. That's it for this video though. I have a few other words to say after this, so I'll let me say that. Thanks for watching this solo queue map strategy video, guys. And just a reminder that there will be a playlist link to more solo queue map strategy videos during the end screen. Also a friendly reminder that I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe if you're into Rainbow Six Siege content, as I upload weekly and stream weekly as well. That's it for this video though. I'll see you guys in the next one.